Welcome everybody. Welcome. This is Outside the Box with Mike Terry. Shout out to Mike, who's in the studio with me. That's the engineer, the Swiss Army knife, the man behind the camera, making it look so easy for me, man. Appreciate him coming in today. Uh, I believe that's gonna be a quick one. I know I say that, and then it's like 50 minutes, but I think it's just gonna talk about something. We're gonna get right to the point. I know I always feel like I'm coming out the closet when I say this, but you know what? I'm a wrestling fan. I am. I grew up a wrestling fan. Like most of you. Most of you grew up a wrestling fan, and then you got sidetracked, whatever, lost your way. I'm bringing you back. I'm bringing you back, all right? I'm letting people know I'm devoting the whole episode to it. Not the whole 50 minutes, but I'm devoting the whole episode, people. It's okay. It's safe to come back and start watching wrestling. Here's why, all right? All right, people. All right, appreciate everybody once again streaming live here on C2C Indie Radio. They got the website c2cindieradio.com as well as the app. Go ahead and follow that. Social media on IG C2C Indie Radio, Facebook CTWOC Indie Radio. All right, people. We getting into it, man. We getting into it. I'm gonna call this episode a guide to watching WWE wrestling again. That's what I'm gonna call it. But it might be titled "Fuck It, Mike's a Wrestling Fan." You know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm trying to guide you back. Trying to lead you back to the water, all right? All right, people. We're going to journey into a world, all right? Boom. Do you remember when wrestling was fun? When everybody was watching wrestling? Remember when everybody was watching wrestling? Back in the 90s when you was in elementary school, you talk about what happened when you came into school. You talk about what happened on Raw or SmackDown. Everybody watched it when Rock and Austin was wrestling, Triple H, Undertaker, Mankind, Shawn Michaels. Everybody remember these names. Remember these names, but somewhere down the line you lost your way. I've heard people say many reasons why they stopped watching wrestling. Oh man, I found out it was fake and I don't like it no more. Or they'd be like, Austin and Rock or Eddie Guerrero, he stopped wrestling, so I lost interest. Well, you know what, people? Things are different. Things are turning around, all right? We're going to get to that later. But I want you to know it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you dip in, you dip out. But for the most part, just like any other sport, just like basketball, just like football, I'm sure soccer, but I never watched it. WWE had to evolve. It had to evolve. It had to go to this next stage from Austin and Rock to John Cena and Randy Orton. All right? It had to evolve and go to this next stage. You know what I mean? You had the megastars that solidified WWE, and then you had people who came after that who was, finding their way. And I think they've done pretty good. I've been one of the people who stayed a wrestling fan, stayed watching. For the most part, at least. I'm not gonna lie. I think the whole year of 2019 I missed. I would be completely honest. Jump was just a little too wild for me at the moment. But yeah, man, it had to freaking evolve, just like basketball, right? People say basketball is less physical. People say it's more soft. You know what I mean? You got more three-point shots going on. You got more scoring in the games. Instead of the final score being 85 to 87, it's 102 to 125. You know what I mean? It's strategic. It's strategic. All right. So football, I'm hearing there's less tackles and stuff like that. I think there was a whole thing about you can't tackle the quarterback or something like that in some scenario. Once again, people, I should watch more football, but I don't. But for the most part, it had to evolve, man. It had to evolve in characters. It had to evolve in the storyline. I know they had that whole PG era. I don't know. I like the cussing. I miss the cussing and the blood and all that. But they had to appeal to the fans, and now those young fans who they had to appeal to are now teenagers. So, but whatever. I'm not gonna talk like I know the ins and outs and all the paperwork that they have to go through. But for the most part, it had to evolve. All right. Now I want to address people saying that wrestling is fake. All right. Gonna address that real quick. Wrestling is fake. Well, you know what? Here's my rebuttal number one. All right. NBA. All right. The NBA. You remember that series with the Lakers and the Kings? Yeah, it was rigged, buddy. It was rigged. They had freaking referees on payroll. You remember that elbow that went unbothered, untouched? It's documented, man. The biggest tragedy in NBA history. All right, that was fake. Yes, they had to still make the shots, but it wasn't 100% true. Anybody remember? This is my second argument. Anybody remember Deflategate? Anybody remember that? That wasn't 100% real. But you got to give these people credit, man. They're being slammed on the mat every week to every other week. You know what I mean? For 52 weeks out of a year. And it's not like it's an off season, like they wrestle for 1 year, they get 3 months off. Nah, it just starts over again. And they just keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, boxers don't even box each other week after week. Yes, the whole boxing league, it probably has fights week after week. But like Mayweather wasn't fighting people in full boxing matches the very next week and then the very next week or the very other. It didn't happen like that, all right? UFC fighters don't do that shit, you know? All right, so you got to give these people a little bit more credit. And yes, he's blocking his face when the chair shot comes because he doesn't want brain damage. You know what I mean? Also, it's the longevity. You got to think long term, all right? You got to think long term, man. You give these people some credits. And this is former NFL players, basketball players, track stars, you know what I mean? Olympic wrestlers. This is, you know what I mean? These are quality athletes. And by the way, who the hell wants to watch legitimate Olympic wrestling? I don't want to see somebody in a headlock for 30 minutes. I'd much rather watch this. It's meant to be entertaining. It's funny. You know what I mean? They have a lot of funny segments, whether it's inside the ring, whether it's outside the ring in the backstage segments. It's funny. You know, it's positive. It's positive. You know, they got intriguing storylines, just like that right there. Funny moment. Funny moment, especially if you know the story behind it. Stone Cold don't dance like that. All right? He tricked them. There's character development. You can see somebody at the start of their career, you know what I mean? And then maybe in another year, they finally win a title, you know, and then next thing you know, they win the Royal Rumble in their third year. Fourth year, they're fighting for the heavyweight belt. There's character development. You get the possibility to invest in somebody. You just watch the show. You see who's on the show. You're like, oh, I like that move that guy did. And then you see him in a talking segment. You're like, oh, I like his point of views. He's kind of funny or he's intriguing. Next thing you know, this is my favorite wrestler. And then you cheering for him. You cheering for him as they eat another L. You know what I mean? But it's character development. It's something you can, you know, you can bond with and stuff like that. People like Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day because they hated going to their 9 to 5. You know what I mean? They had a freaking annoying boss who, as soon as they walked into work late, he was clocking them. Hey, you know you fucking late, right? They hated that motherfucker. That's why they like Stone Cold so much. For the other points, you know what I mean? Sometimes famous people will come in. You know, Shaq, he was at that same WrestleMania in the Battle Royal and stuff like that. Nobody thinks Shaquille O'Neal is lame, which is interesting. I've heard people, you know, I don't know, niggas might label me corny. I really don't give a fuck, to be completely honest. I'm past that point in my life. I'm 31, I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm going to be me regardless, all right? I'll be the dopest, flyest wrestling fan that ever drew breath if I want to be. For the most part, you know, well, not for the most part. I meant what I said. But I'm just saying, yeah, it's funny, it's positive. You know, they got intriguing storylines, there's character development, sometimes famous people show up. Yeah, famous people you might like. Also, to the next photo, there's new management. New management. Everybody knows Vince McMahon to the left. Everybody knows Vince McMahon. What you might not know, no disrespect, he got caught putting his dick in somebody's mouth. So he's no longer in charge. No longer in charge. You know what I mean? He paid some hush money to a couple divas that he fucked on the side. You know what I mean? Little, he's a millionaire. Billionaire. How you know what I mean? It was going to happen. He was going to taste his own product. This is going to happen. You know, now the man in the middle, Triple H, who was a wrestler, is now in charge. And it is now, this is why I'm making this video, because right now is the time. I'm seeing the improvements that he's making. He's listening to as I would say, consumer or customer feedback. Fans have been wanting this person to be signed, this person to be signed, this person to get a promotion, to be advertised more, to get in better matches, and he's answering that. He's answering that. A lot of people are getting opportunities and stuff like that. Things are changing, and I see that it's about to have its third boom period, right? Wrestling's first boom period. As far as WWF, Hulk Hogan. Everybody remembers Hulk Hogan. Even if you don't know no better. You know the dude Hulk Hogan from the 80s and the early 90s. And then second boom period. Attitude Era with Austin and Rock, right? Austin and Rock. Now, yeah, you could kind of say John Cena and Orton, but not really. That's when people tuned out for the most part. But this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the third boom period. I'm calling it right now. All right, I'm calling it right now. Sometimes you need a fresh eye. You need fresh eyes on the product. You need a fresh perspective on the product. And I'm telling you, things are moving towards the better. It is time. Go ahead, check it out. It's Mondays and Fridays. Watch one of them at least. Watch one of the episodes just to start you off. And I'm just saying, man, things are moving in the right direction. Is about to be. WrestleMania ain't even here yet, so you got time to invest. You got time, to watch this season. And on a side note, that's how I know somebody don't watch wrestling like that. When they try to talk about wrestling but they don't know no better, they ask me a dumb question. Hey Mike, WrestleMania coming on tonight? I'm like, on a Tuesday? Nigga, no. Why would you even ask me that? You know what I mean? You're disrespectful, first of all. Nah, but that's how I know somebody don't watch wrestling, when they just say WrestleMania for no reason. But on another note, all right, so that's changing things. All right, so that's the pros, right? That's the pros, just to name a few. And once again, the intention is to keep this video a little short. So the cons, right? I'm gonna list all the cons right now. All right, con number one: you're not gonna notice everybody. You're not. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But that's what happens when things change over time. When you take a step back, you're gonna come back and see a bunch of new people. But don't give up all, just off that. Don't just quit just off that. Oh, I don't know nobody, so I ain't gonna watch. Nah, sit down, watch the whole episode, let your eyes get into it, and just get a lay of the land. You might like some of the new people. Just give them a chance. All right, and that's all the cons, just like that. You ain't gonna know everybody, but everything else is positive, all right? On a second note, well, not second note, but to the next topic, I'm gonna go ahead and help you out. I'm gonna give you a couple wrestlers that you need to know, all right? Roman Reigns, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, this is this generation's GOAT, all right? Not everybody liked him leading up to this point, but right now, this dude has held the top belt for 2 years, going on 3. This man has been dominant. He beat people like, Brock Lesnar, as I said, the dude who was in the UFC. Once again, y'all not gonna know too many other people. He didn't beat Rock and Austin, so y'all not gonna. So naming all the people he beat might not be beneficial. But I'm just telling you, for those who are thinking about jumping back into it, this is the dude to watch. He's entertaining. The guy next to him, Paul Heyman, he's really good at talking and getting you intrigued, and he's funny at times and stuff like that. This is Roman Reigns, and those 2 people with the black shirt standing up, those are his cousins, Jimmy and Jay Uso. All together, the 3 of them are The Rock's cousins. They're all Samoan, all right? Which I low-key feel is some kind of black. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's somewhat, like, they said nigga, I wouldn't even flinch. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it belongs to you. Like, I wouldn't. So, also the guy sitting down, that's another wrestler you probably might not know. His name is Sami Zayn. But I'm telling you, this is another reason to watch, because the dynamic, the situation, and the storyline that's happening with these dudes is freaking hysterical. And it's worth watching. It's worth watching. A little bit of backstory. The 3 of them, Roman Reigns and the 2 standing up, Jimmy and Jay Uso, they're cousins. They've been down since day one. All right, their stable is called the Bloodline, and they have another cousin who I didn't get a photo of, but his name is Solo Sikoa. Later on, him, you know what I mean? That's for once you watch it, you'll get on to that. But The other guy, Sami Zayn, he's just another wrestler. He's a heel. You know what I mean? A heel is the bad guy. That's the terminology for a bad guy. A baby face is the good guy. That's the terminology for that. But basically, he's basically found a way by taking beatings for Roman Reigns and the other superstars in the group. He's found a way to get himself into the group, and now he's known as the honorary Uce, which is like keyword for honorary brother. You know what I mean? He's earned their good graces. He's in the stable. However, the dude covering his mouth, Jay, he don't like him that much. He knows that he's up to something, all right? But it's just funny because the whole family now is like on Sami Zayn's side, and they thinking that Jey Uso is crazy. It's a whole thing. It's funny to watch. It's entertaining, which is the point of wrestling. It's entertainment. I'm telling you from experience, people, there's times where I've sat down or I was going through some stuff and I needed to take my mind off it. And I was like, all right, you know what? Wrestling coming on. I'm going to just focus on that. Wrestling came on. At the time, I was smoking heavily, smoked some weed, watched wrestling, and enjoyed myself for those 2 hours, for those 2 hours, which is the meaning of entertainment. Yes, to take your mind off stuff, but to also make you laugh, to have you invest in characters and stuff like that. It's not overcomplicated, people. It's worth watching. All right. Moving on to the next person. All right. This person's name is Seth Rollins, right? He's really good. These are like the two top stars. Roman Reigns, the first picture, and this guy right here, Seth Rollins. The two top stars that are leading the company right now. This man has held multiple championships. Also, he pulled a guy's eyeball out on live pay-per-view. It's freaking weird. Rey Mysterio. Everybody, I think most people remember Rey Mysterio. Yeah, lost an eye to this dude, all right? That's the kind of shit you into when you watch this. But it's it was fake. He had like a little the little, you go fishing and they got the little white and black ball or whatever. He had that junk onto his eye, like he tried to pretend like, it's a whole thing. You can find the clip on YouTube. But the point is, pulled a man's eye out and wrestled the next night. All right, so it's entertainment. It's entertainment. That was during the pandemic, which brings me to the next point. Going to the next photo. There's a lot of positive black images, positive black representation. Right. This is Bianca Belair, which is a beautiful African American woman, black woman. You see the hair, you see the lashes. I'm sure a lot of young females nowadays can see this female and identify. But, oh, okay, she kind of looked like me. Well, she's also the world champion. You know what I mean? She hasn't been called a coon or a nigger or anything like that. It's positive. What kind of kid? Wouldn't you want your kids to look up to somebody like this, or at least like look up and see positive images of themselves achieving goals and accomplishments and stuff like that? She's entertaining to watch. She can be funny. It's worth it. She uses lingo that young people use nowadays. Honey, boo boo, all that. I sound old now, but the point is, it's worth watching. And then going to that photo that was in the background. Last photo, once again, positive black representation. All right, they have a history. And these last two photos at the bottom, during the pandemic, I took notice that WWE made it made even more of an effort, at the, not even, kind of to the degree at the height of the Black Lives Matter situation that was going on with George Floyd. I saw more and more African American men and women winning matches, being in positive roles, winning championships and stuff like that. And it was encouraging. Yes, I knew what was going on, but that doesn't mean I cannot allow myself to enjoy it. Bobby Lashley at the bottom, lower bottom, it became WWE champion. Big E, lower right, he became WWE champion during the pandemic and after. It's very, very entertaining, man. Very entertaining segments, character development. I remember seeing Big E when he first came into WWE, and to see him become a WWE champion, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And the way that it happened was even better. Of course, you guys know The Rock, upper left, and then Booker T. I'm sure a few lesser people know him, but that's, you know what I mean? And then Mark Henry right there in the middle. I feel like the amount of people, like it decreases based off the picture. Like less and less people know. But the point is, these are all examples of positive black images. All right, people. So that's pretty much my argument for today. You know, depending on what kind of comments we get, I may come back to this. I may, I'm sure I'll have more to say at a later date. But for the most part, and by the way, nobody's driving. Nobody's driving. I'm in here riding dirty out here. Riding dirty, man. But come on back, man. Stop playing, man. Stop acting like wrestling ain't cool. Stop acting like, shit ain't worth watching. You just don't know yet. There's a lot of other people. But it's just take a chance, What is it? Mondays on oh no, you can get rid of that. Bruce. Mondays at 8 on USA. And Fridays at 8 on Fox. All right, Fox. Worth watching, people. There's another.
So what is it? Monday Night Raw. Still Raw?
Yeah, Monday Night Raw.
Okay, so Friday used to be
SmackDown.
Okay, it used to be Thursday Night SmackDown. So now it's Friday Night SmackDown?
Yeah, they moved that junk around a little bit. But yeah, it's back to Fridays.
I've been out of the loop.
It's all good.
That last picture you showed, this one here. Yeah. I know the top 3. Rock, Booker T, and Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Well, actually won the World's Strongest Man competition. He did that.
Legitimate.
Yeah, these last 3, I don't know who they are.
It's all right. Yeah.
I'm one of those who stopped following wrestling. So
okay. When did you taper off? When did you stop watching?
I watched a little bit of John Cena. I know about Brock Lesnar. So it was probably John Cena era.
Okay.
He was starting to peak. Because him and The Rock was going at it a little bit. Because, Rock would make some guest appearances and all that.
Yes.
During that John Cena time, that's when I started falling off.
Okay. But, like, you grew up watching it or something like that? I'm sure you know, like, Austin Rock stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
I was a, Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan fan, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
British Bulldogs, the Hart.
Yeah, Bret Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart, and all of them. So, I was a little what's my man? Junkyard Dog. I actually got his autograph when they came to the War Memorial.
Oh, okay.
I got his autograph. That's and what's the other dude, the black dude who had the parrot?
Coco Beware.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's my
Okay,
that was my era. Yeah,
that's when it was socially acceptable, man. Yeah. Everybody believed it was real. Now niggas clown you for liking wrestling. Hey, hold up, this nigga like wrestling. Now you gotta hide and shame and shit. And
I ain't gonna front. When The Rock first came into wrestling, I started teetering off.
Okay.
Until I took my son to one of the Raws, came to the War Memorial. I took him, and The Rock was there, and he put on a good show. And I was like, oh, shit, I actually like this nigga. I was like, I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah. So he kind of drew me back into it and shit. His little theme music and all that. So he drew me back into it for a minute.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. And by the way, we showed the picture of Roman Reigns. That's what I would call the final boss of WWE. Like he's on that level. Even the theme music. If you listen to the theme music, it sounds like final boss music, which is pretty dope. But yeah, man, every now and again, what everybody's hoping is that Roman Reigns will face The Rock at this year's WrestleMania, that's what everything is leading up to. That's which will be awesome. It's gonna happen.
So The Rock gonna make a guest appearance or something?
Yeah, like he'll probably come maybe around Royal Rumble, like, and just say, hey, I'm gonna fight him at WrestleMania or some shit. Maybe they'll have him win the Royal Rumble, which I'm hoping, and then they'll fight. The rivalry that they'll have doesn't even need.
They can't have him come back and win the championship and win the title and and come back.
That's the beautiful thing. It doesn't even need the championship, I feel, because there's a whole thing. Roman Reigns is saying he's the head of the table, like he's the main provider for the family, the Samoan family. So, but also Rock was there first. He was if there was such a thing, he was that, before anybody. So it's like, hey, that'd be interesting to see.
That one. I need to go back to this one, man. You got to comment on this one here.
Okay, yeah.
I did not know. I mean, I heard about Vince McMahon stepping down.
Yeah.
I didn't know it had nothing to do with him making somebody suck some dick. I did not know about that.
He had some sexual scandals and stuff. I mean, it was consensual. He wasn't, you know what I mean, holding nobody, but it was consensual for the most part. But he paid some hush money to at least
I
one
bet
or two
he
women.
did. I bet he did.
There were some stories about him, you know what I mean, having sex with some divas, you know what I mean, some of the female wrestlers and jump. But at first I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. But to a degree, I'm like, you know what? That's fine as them women are.
Yeah, but that's just like the music industry. Like, hey, you want to get some of them fuck their way to the top. I mean, look at Madonna. Right. She admitted it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Any opportunity she had, hey, she fucked this dude, fucked that dude. She fucked her way to the top.
Oh wow.
One of her boyfriends who, it was actually in her book and in the movie that she did, her little bio movie.
Oh.
She was, yeah. Any way she can get famous and be seen and be heard, hey, she fucked her way to the top.
That's surprising.
So I mean, I don't see it not happening in wrestling as well. And I ain't gonna front some of these women, some of them do look good.
Yeah.
You know, so hey.
But it's pretty dope though too, man. There's a lot of different, and when they, it's been a while since I've gone to a live event, but I'm hoping that either next year or the year after that's gonna change, which I'm hoping. You know what I mean? Once again, tomorrow is not promised, so you gotta move with some urgency nowadays, people. But that's mainly what I wanted to talk to y'all about, And fuck it, if you clowning at me, all right, cool, go ahead and laugh. I really don't give a fuck. I mean that. It's freaking fun. It's entertaining. All right, and at the end of the day, everybody watched it, so it's not that weird. You just couldn't remember nobody who was wrestling, and you tapped out. It's okay. Come on back, man. Come on back. I'm not gonna lie. Some of those covers, some of those pinfalls be a little spicy every now and again, but it's not. I don't think it's purposeful. But I don't know yet, man. Yeah, I would recommend people start watching. Check it out. There is a different wrestling company called AEW, but once again, for people who tuned out of wrestling and coming back, just focus on this right now. Focus on liking this, because that's AEW is like, if you still a hardcore wrestling fan and all that, you gonna know some people over there. They got the wrestler Sting. I'm sure people kind of low-key remember that dude, like 68, still wrestling. But it's it's entertaining, man. It's entertainment, people. At the end of the day, don't try to make it more than what it is, man. So also people say it's predetermined. Yeah, it's a business. Remember that part too. It's a business. So, but at the end of the day, sometimes they do allow us to have good moments. Like Kofi Kingston right there, the middle on the I believe the right or the left, who's on the two shoulders. That was like a moment. I'm sure he sold some merchandise and stuff like that, but that was a moment, man. He won the heavyweight title, held it for 6 months, and then he lost to Brock Lesnar in 6 seconds. That hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that just hurt a little bit. I'm like, dang, it's like they erased him, like for real, man. But that's what I got, people, for right now. Check it out, man. It's Friday. The times are pretty consistent. Is what I mean? Monday at 8 on USA. Fridays at 8. Fox. You know what I mean? If you got YouTube TV, you can catch it. If you got Hulu, you can catch it. Or, if you somehow still got cable, however that works out for you. But, you know what I mean? It's worth watching. It's entertaining. It's fun. And once again, I'm going to say it like a broken record. It's entertainment. So just enjoy it, people. Enjoy it just like you watch everything else. Also, yeah, was another thing. It's like a male soap opera. You know what I mean? Dude walks out to the ring. I ain't like that bullshit that Kurt Angle did. How about you come out here and we fight right now? The dude walks down, slaps him in his mouth, and they fucking fight. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, people. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. I hit all my points. I appreciate Appreciate you coming out, Mike. Helping out with this, man. I'm Mike Terry, and you stepped outside the box. I'm proud of you. Peace.